Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpacha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda Ben Shomer, and today I'm going to talk to you about being smart and being prepared. I have hesitated greatly about doing this video for fear that it would be taken as a doomsday Y2K 2012 government conspiracy into the world kind of video, and that's not what I want. That's not how I want it to be taken. Basically, my point is we live in a fallen world. And we live with possible realities that are very unpleasant, such as natural disasters, floods, fires, tornadoes, what have you. Not only that, but there's also other unsavory possibilities that are potential realities we need to be prepared for, such as civil unrest, civil wars, government takeovers, foreign invasion, economic collapse, terrorist MP3 strikes, things of this nature that could possibly happen, and every citizen, it behooves us to be prepared, not only for our sakes but for the sake of our family. And I don't want this to come across as a survivalist video and all this kind of stuff, but I'm just saying these things can happen. All you got to do is watch the news, look at the world around you, look at it through spiritual eyes, through the eyes of prophecy, and through the eyes of Scripture, and you'll realize that these things are possibilities that you need to be prepared for. That they're possible inevitabilities. And so I want to just tell you just some simple, common sense kind of things that you could do to kind of prepare yourself for this. If any of these things occur, your money's not going to be any good. Even your gold's not going to be any good. So I'm not saying stockpile of gold or money or anything like that, but it is important so you will not be enslaved. So you will not be responsible. You will not be indebted to anybody else. That you get out of debt, whatever it takes to get out of debt. Call these credit counselors or whatever. And get out of debt, because 6 out of 10 Americans, I've heard, are in debt. And some people are so far behind that their only recourse is bankruptcy. If that is the last resort and there's absolutely no way you can consolidate your debt and get rid of it that way, just go ahead and declare bankruptcy, get through it and get it over with, whatever it takes. So get out of debt. You got to learn how to do without. It's like our grandparents of the 20s and 30s during the Depression. They could squeeze $1 out of a penny, and they knew how to do without. And so we need to be the same way. We need to get out of debt and learn how to do without and to do with less. So get out of debt is the first thing. Secondly, every time you go to the grocery store, get a couple of canned foods, non-perishable food items, and water, and create a pantry in your house or somewhere, and start saving a little bit of food, so when disaster comes or bad times come, you're prepared. You can provide for you and your family. Another thing is change your lifestyle, because if rough times are ahead and rough times are coming, you've got to be healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually, and have your personal intimate relationship with God that takes care of the spiritual. But what about the physical and mental? Exercise. 20 to 30 minutes every day except for Sabbath. Go walking or go biking, or involve yourself in some kind of physical activity, because the exercise will help you mentally, not only physically but mentally. So it'll also help you physically, as I just said, because you need to build up your strength, you need to build up your endurance and your stamina so you can endure. Not only that, so you could be healthy. So that means, thirdly, that you need to start eating right. More raw fruits and vegetables, and cutting out the sugar and the junk and the prefab type foods, preserved foods. Have those sparingly. They're not evil and they're not a sin to eat, but just try to do without them, and just shop around the perimeter of your grocery store, because that's where all the healthy natural foods are, and learn how to do with those things. So also learn about natural remedies. Learn how to survive without a healthcare system. Learn these things that your grandmother knew about how to stay well, how to stay healthy. If somebody does get a cold or somebody does get sick, you know what to do through natural remedies that you can just get from your garden or from your grocery store. Also, take and get certified in CPR and first aid, so that you know how to help your family and your loved ones when rough times come, and also have a first aid kit in your home and available. Uh, Also, it would be good to learn a trade. I don't know, maybe sewing, maybe carpentry. I don't know. Just pick a trade that, if worse comes to worse, you could use your trade to barter for things, because in rough times your money's not going to be any good. The only thing that's going to be good is things that you could trade, and those things are necessities of life, such as food, firearms, and manual labor. Those things you could barter for things that you need. So learn a trade. Also, have bug out kits ready. These are backpacks that are filled with necessary camping gear, so you could survive out in the wilderness for 3 days, like a natural disaster happens or civil unrest, and you have to get away quickly. There you go. Also, invest in firearms. I'm not advocating violence or militias or anything like that, but if worse comes to worse, you got to protect your family, and you might have to hunt for your food. So learn some of these lost folk arts, such as canning, such as trapping and fishing, so you could be able to survive if these things happen. Now, like I said, I don't want to create any panic or fear among the viewers, because the scripture says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. It also says that he is not the author of confusion. Who's the author of confusion if God isn't? Must be Satan. If God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, what has he given us? The spirit of power, love conquers all, and of a sound mind. So it's important to rid yourself of fear and ignorance, which means be informed, be in the know how to do things, know how to survive, and with this knowledge, the fear subsides, as well as the ignorance, because when you know what to do, you're not afraid. It's just like back when you were a little kid in school. You remember all the fire and tornado drills? You had these tornado drills and these fire drills all throughout the year, and it was to teach you, when the alarm sounds, not to freak out, not to be afraid, but that alarm means something. And you practiced what to do, whether you ran into the bathroom or ran under a table and covered your head in a tornado drill, or whether you lined up neatly and filed out through certain hallways to the outside. You know what to do. So it's the same thing with being prepared. I mean, it's just common sense. I mean, it would be totally ignorant and ludicrous not to be prepared for inevitable possibilities that are coming down the pike. In the end times, I see that there are three groups of believers out there. Either you're going to be like Noah, which means you're going to be prepared and you're going to be able to not only help your family and help yourself, but help others, or you're going to be an Elijah, where maybe you, for whatever reason, you were unable to prepare or couldn't prepare, and you're going to have to rely on miracles. You're going to have to rely on the ravens to bring your food. Or you're going to be a John the Baptist, where you're going to be called to be a martyr for the faith, for Yeshua, for Torah, for truth. So it would be wise to be prepared for all those types of things. Like I said, I've really been leery and hesitant about putting out this video because I don't want it to be taken in the wrong way. I'm just advocating knowledge and preparedness. That's it. Not advocating fear or conspiracy theories or militias or all this weird kind of end of the world stuff that you can see all the time, where people are freaking out and looking like mad scientists and stuff, and well, you got to be prepared because so and so's the Antichrist, and 2012 is the end of the world, and blah 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 blah. Come on, So anyway, I hope that this video has helped encourage you and inform you and edify you and to prepare you for what may be coming down in the future. And pray that we'll never have to use these type of things, but but we're prepared in case it does happen. So love you guys. Thanks for your viewership, and shalom and Shavua Tov.